and central regions. And in sports, 56 athletes from Simiyu participated in a baseball training for the first time as part of preparations for the World Cup to be held this year in Japan. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. I am Vanessa Victor. Let's get things started with the national news. 4 people, 3 of them from the same family, have drowned in Ileje and Bozi districts in Songwe region after they were swept away by floods. Rescue efforts are still ongoing to recover 2 remaining bodies along Ntembo River in Ileje district.
Mimi ni babake na binti aliyepatikana kwenye maji. Asante kwa mambo yote mlionifanyia. Naomba nisiongee mengi. Asante mlioza.
I'm the father of the young girl that was found drowned. I'm grateful to all those who took part in the rescue operation. May God bless you. This river is not safe and no one should attempt to go near it. It is for parents to tell their children about its history, as young children don't know anything about it. I commend all those who volunteered and got into the river and searched for the body. As a result, the body was found. So far, 4 people have died, but only 2 bodies have been found. However, rescue operation is going on in search for the bodies. I asked drivers not to attempt to cross when there is a lot of water.
Lakini juhudi zinaendelea.
Passengers traveling on Tanzania Railway Corporation TRC train to Kigoma have called on the corporation to refund their fares after train services were suspended twice. At the railway station in Dar es Salaam, the passengers said that they were supposed to have traveled on February the 2nd, and now they've been told that they will travel on the 11th of this month. TRC has said that they have had to suspend train services along the Central Rail Line due to floods in Kilosa, Morogoro region and heavy rains in Iringa, Manyara, Singida and Dodoma.
We've been here since 6. We came on Friday to buy a ticket and were informed that the journey was to commence on Sunday. Then we came on Sunday, but we were told that we have to wait for Tuesday. This is very costly. We made a request for a refund so that we can look for alternative means of transport, but we're told that this was not possible and that we must write a letter to management, but our money was going to be refunded in 1 to 2 weeks.
The opposition camp wants Parliament to give the opposition more time to contribute to the debates on reports tabled by the local authorities' constitution and legal affairs, as well as bylaws parliamentary committees. The call was made by the chief whip from the opposition, Esther Belaya, who said, according to regulations, Parliament can add extra time to ensure Parliament activities are fully completed.
We ask for the opposition to be given additional time so that members of Parliament can have an opportunity to effectively contribute to motion raised.
Mwenyekiti, leo tunajadili kamati 3, mnatoa kafu nafasi 1, Chadema nafasi 2. Tunaomba mwongozo wako haki itendeke kwa siku ya leo.
Today, Chadema will be allowed 2 and CUF 1. But if you need extra time, then you must split the time between yourselves. The committee identified some shortcomings, such as secondary laws not being in line with primary ones.
14 out of 16 victims of a stampede incident which occurred at a religious gathering organized by Prophet Boniface Mwamposa, admitted at Mawenzi Referral Hospital in Kilimanjaro region, have been discharged after making good recovery. Many of the stampede victims had suffered shock as well as physical injuries caused after being trampled on. Meanwhile, in Kagera region, some religious leaders have given their condolences to families and relatives of 20 people who died in the stampede in Moshi during a religious gathering. They also advised the government to investigate religious leaders who own churches in order to identify and take stern action against those found to mislead worshippers with the aim of gaining popularity.
We ask the government to regulate charges that arise, and once they've taken the money, they disappear. Religious establishment must be properly regulated. This is the only time we shall have religion that is helpful to the people. The government should regulate such people. Nowadays, we have those who call themselves prophets, etc. They don't call themselves pastors or sheikhs, but prophets.
Wanajiita manabii, wanajiita nini? Sasa wao hawajiiti wachungaji, hawajiiti mashehe, hawajiiti hivi.
And the spokesperson of the police force SACP, David Misime, has said investigations are still ongoing after the Inspector General of Police, Simon Siro, sent a team of officers to investigate the Moshi stampede incident. In a police statement, SACP David Misime said after investigations are complete, they will be issued by the relevant authority and action will be taken according to laws and regulations. In the meantime, everyone is to remain patient until the investigations are completed. And Norway has granted 9.9 billion shillings to support development projects in areas affected by refugees in Kigoma region. This is part of a joint program by 16 organizations of the United Nations to support communities affected by refugees.
And I'm very pleased that we could start again and with the Kigoma program. It will create, of course, progress and development.
They should expect this grant to be used wisely so as to bring development to the people of Kigoma. I urge all leaders who will have access to the money to use it as intended. We work together with the Municipal Council, the Regional Secretariat, so as to work in areas that the project is supported.
And more than 8,000 residents affected by floods in Lindi region need various supports, such as food and blankets. This was said by Lindi Regional Commissioner Godfrey Zambi when receiving support donated by various stakeholders for the flood victims.
What is needed most is shelter, and iron sheets are most needed. Some families have become destitute. I commend you for coming today to help your fellow Tanzanians. When we heard about the flooding in Lindi, we decided to come and help because we are part of Lindi community. So today we are here with Red Cross so that they can give us guidance on how to help those affected.
Niko Lindi sasa hivi kwa ajili ya kusaidia watu waliopatwa na maafa.
We are in Lindi to support flood victims. Red Cross as a government stakeholder in disaster management. We're working with other stakeholders, and an analysis was carried to identify where need is great.
Kuwasaidia watu waliopatwa maafa.
The ambassador of Ireland in the country, Paul Sherlock, has handed over maternity ward building at Muzie village in Kasulu district, Kigoma region, constructed in order to reduce maternal and infant deaths caused by lack of reproductive health services. He said his government is committed to supporting Tanzania's efforts in improving health services for its people.
We have worked with the government of Tanzania for many years to provide better health service to its people. We would continue to work with the government and other stakeholders to ensure safety for every pregnancy. We believe that together we can eradicate maternal death in Kigoma and across the country. We are grateful for the care you've shown the people of Kasulu, who have been here since 1972.
That's all for national news. International news is next. In international news, Kenya is mourning the death of retired President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. The announcement of his passing was made earlier today by President Uhuru Kenyatta, who said that the late retired President Daniel Arap Moi was being treated at Nairobi Hospital.
I am deeply saddened by the passing on of the second President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, into eternal light and rest. His life and work touched everyone of us in a lasting and impactful way. Because of his love for the people of Kenya and his unflagging patriotism, he sacrificed his personal comfort and happiness to secure stability and unity at all times in the history of our country. As a teacher evangelist who improbably and reluctantly entered political leadership and excelled in it, Mzee had no time to prepare or learn outside the job. His genuine concern, selflessness, loyalty, and sincerity, however, enabled him to acquire staying power and attract the support of millions of patriots.
And I think in remembrance of Mzee Moi, Kenyans must return Kenya to status quo ante, where we used to love this country, where we used to plant trees, where we used to love one another. Those things, I think, are the things we should remember Moi for. In the last visit, and I was with Senator Wambua here, to Mzee Moi, he told us very interesting things. He told the young people of this country, and I can repeat, we should not be in a hurry to ascend to higher levels of leadership.
And I can say that Mzee Arap Moi was a very humble man and a leader. I remember him especially to his call for peace, love and unity to all Kenyans. And we still need this peace, love and unity slogan. Mzee Moi will be remembered for even his Christian values.
And leaders in areas sheltering 800,000 refugees from South Sudan and north of Uganda have urged the government and donors to help deal with the water shortage problem they face, which has contributed to creating hostilities between refugees and local communities.
Domestic violence, that is a source. The water is a big source. People take advantage, women take advantage, to be honest. They take advantage now to visit the ex-boyfriend or the new boyfriend.
Ex-phase that we are in preparation and discussion and we are finalizing, which is going to see more of because we need to secure the sources, the water towers.
Residents of Masisi, Kivu North have called on all militant groups remaining in the forest to leave as they are involved in the murder of innocent civilians.
They have been disturbing us whenever we go at the forests while en route to our farms. I suggest something needs to be done fast.
The
camp that was attacked was a camp that we left our loved ones while we go fight for the FDLR rebels in the forest. Many of our family members and friends were killed.
Ilikuwa haiko fasi kabisa ambao tulikuwa napigania vita.
Kakamega Public Primary School has been officially shut down after the deaths of 14 students yesterday. The Minister of Education in Kenya, Professor George Magoha, has ordered that the school be closed down until next week on Monday so as to allow for time for investigations into the cause of the accident.
The little angels that we have lost, 5 boys, 9 girls, 2 dead in class 4 and 12 dead in class 5. So this is a school which is better than many other schools and is being well run. So let's just find out what happened. Like I've said, there is nobody who is perfect, including myself. Let's just find out the truth. And I shall not accept a situation where they are saying, well, the children were in, they were running, but they don't know what they were running from. That one I will not take.
That's where we leave off with international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. Tanzania, through the Dodoma Abattoir, has begun to export meat outside the country while it is continuing to renovate the abattoir's infrastructure so as to reopen the market in Dubai.
Kitu cha pili ambacho tunaboresha pia ni kwamba tunaanza kuchinja mifugo kwenda.
We used to have a shortage of people bringing goats to the abattoir, but now things have changed and the speed is satisfying to the point that we have begun exporting goat meat. Our advice to Dodoma residents is to bring their cattle at this modern abattoir, where by doing so it will be easy to combat diseases.
A few days after small-scale miners complained of being kicked out of the minerals market due to lack of licenses, Good Samaritans have come out and paid their licenses, allowing them to continue with their activities.
In order for the licenses to be scrambled for by many, the government should charge 100,000 shillings for getting a license. May this opinion be debated at the parliament, because if you look at the brokers in Arusha region, they're almost 4,000. Now imagine how much amount of money could be collected. Just give us a suggestive procedure on how payments will be made, so that if it will be a cognitive approach, then it will be easy to improvise.
The Small Industries Development Organization, SIDO, has entered into a 5-year contract with Mbeya Science and Technology University, where in-depth research will be conducted at university on all the challenges encountered by small-scale industry owners to determine scientific solutions that will help in the growth of the industrial sector in the country.
Na wenzetu wa chuo kikuu cha Mbeya.
Our fellows from Science and Technology University in Mbeya have entered into an agreement of collaborating in issues of technology, since at the university they have innovative technologies every now and then. As SIDO, our work will be to produce the technologies innovated by the university in many quantities in order to foster industrial development in the country.
Kama taasisi ya elimu ya juu, sisi tunajivunia kwamba tunao wataalamu.
We are proud to say that we have enough science and technology experts who have done multiple research. Not only that, do we have students with different talents. That is why it was important to combine all of these to support our communities instead of leaving all these research to pamphlets and laboratories.
Kwenye maabara, zitoke basi ziende kwa walengwa ambao ni wananchi wa Tanzania.
That's all for business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Marquinhos, he did lose to Lent.
And in sports. A total of 56 athletes from Simiyu have participated in a baseball training for the first time as part of preparations for the World Cup, which will be held this year in Japan.
The aim is to expand awareness on these games as well as produce more youths who will compete at the Youth Olympic tournaments in 2022. We expect a good number of participants to come from Simiyu region. This game has been introduced in 12 regions so far. We're building our sports grounds in Simiyu Secondary School, where we are looking forward in training coaches who will support growth of this sport.
The coach of Lipuli FC in Iringa region has said that he knows Yanga well. Therefore, tomorrow his team will enter the field with great caution, while Azam FC will also face off against Tanzania Prisons earlier on in the day.
We are still in good position, although we have not been performing to our standard in a few previous matches. However, we still believe that our goals and determination has remained the same, which is to focus on winning the league.
Representatives from international sporting federations in the private sector joined with ambassadors at UN headquarters in New York on Monday to launch a global program aimed at safeguarding major sporting events from terrorism-related threats. Here's more on this report.
The multi-year initiative looks to harness the positive values that sports promote to help crack down on the spread of violent extremism, particularly amongst young people. Despite being a unifying force, sporting events have been marred by deadly terrorist attacks. The 1972 and 1996 Olympic Games and more recently, marathons in Sri Lanka and the United States are some of the tragic examples. The global program will develop guidelines to enhance international cooperation and public-private partnerships to make sporting events safer for athletes and the public. The launch will be followed by a 2-day expert meeting. Another meeting focusing on youth will be held in April. Participants attending the launch included representatives from the International Olympic Committee, IOC, various national Olympic committees, the International Football Association, FIFA, and private companies.
Manchester City have to win the Champions League for it to be a successful season, says former England striker Ian Wright. Here is more.
The defending champions are 22 points behind Premier League leaders Liverpool with 13 games remaining. Pep Guardiola's side face Real Madrid in the last 16 of the Champions League with the first leg on 26 February. You feel if they don't win the Champions League, then it is not a good season, Wright told BBC Radio 5 Live. But if they do win, it is a great season. He added, I would start saving players for it because that's what City have got to start focusing on.
Serena Williams needs to change her strategy and face reality, having not won a Grand Slam title since returning to tennis, says her coach Patrick Mouratoglou. Here is more on this.
American 23rd-time Grand Slam singles champion, 38, has lost 4 major finals since giving birth to her daughter in September 2017. She was knocked out of the Australian Open in the 3rd round last month. We have to accept the fact that it is not working, said Mouratoglou.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and have a good night.